Did I do it? Is it done? Are we gaming? Not really. Not gaming today. Now hold on. There's one thing I gotta change and fix. Give me a moment. Hold on. Hold on. This needs to come on. First and foremost. Alright. A little shot of the butt. Hef, what is this? What could this possibly be? To a nice tropical temperature. Oh, exactly. Exactly. Red Pikmin exude tropical energy. Let me lower that a little. Big time. Oh, it's interesting how these loaded in, actually. Let me make sure. I think everything's here correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. Yeah, I guess they're all loaded in correctly, but they're kind of in like... They're not in the order that I put them in. Let me do an intro real fast. Real quick intro. Sprite Cranberry. The Shine Sprite tier list. The Shine Sprite tier list. Not the Sprite tier list. Now hold on, that's something different. I'm not qualified to do a Sprite tier list. I haven't had all of the flavors of Sprite. However, what I am qualified for, and I'd like to get started and just kind of dive in and start discussing with y'all. Because, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and enemies, those who don't subscribe to any of the above titles, welcome the heck back. We've been playing a lot of Mario Sunshine recently. We did Sunshine Arcade 2. I did the Sunshine Randomizer. I did Eclipse when that dropped. Maybe like, let's say a year ago. Maybe a year and a half ago-ish. Probably a year ago, maybe. I'm not totally sure. Is there a banana Sprite? Because that sounds gnarly. What's up, Davis? What's good? What's good? Dark Tods, how we doing? Careless, LOSid, Turbuck, Water Wraith. We're here to rank and do a tier list of. This isn't going to be like, you know, number 96, 95, 94. That's not really what I'm here for. They made this stream for you specifically. Yo, what's up, Nick? How are you doing? How are you doing? I watched the team breakdown that you and Joe did, and I gotta say, who had the 3 donkeys? Was that Huge? Huge had 3 Donkey Kongs and 4 Monty Moles and Birdo. I'm pulling for Huge, bro. I mean, Dennis's team is also cracked. Anyway, sorry. Beside the point. Leave the regular list to Nathaniel Bandy. I'm out here striving for originality, and today we're gonna be ranking / tiering every single shine that you can get in Mario Sunshine. Not just the levels. Every shine. I don't even know where to begin. I don't know. Maybe we should begin at the very beginning. At the Delfino Airstrip Dilemma. I don't know. What's the criteria here? Oh, as far as like where I'm ranking them? It's... Number one, it's all opinion based, okay? This isn't just a strict, like, this shine is good because of XYZ, you know? It's not about the length of the shine. It's about how satisfying the shine is. It's about, I mean, sometimes the aesthetics of the shine, how much fun it is. There's a whole bunch of different factors that go into, you know, what making a shine good versus not so good. If it's, like, very simple, it's probably not going to rank super highly. If it's super complicated, you know, we'll get around to it. Really, I'd like to discuss a lot of these takes. Playing a lot of Sunshine on your channel has been so fun. Nick, you should check out the randomizer. The Sunshine Rando is actually insane. Yeah, and for those of you who do want to make your own Shine tier list, I did do all of these graphics myself. I pulled from obviously the Mario Wiki as well as some of my own footage, and just kind of, you know, what image I thought best kind of encapsulated, you know, the given shine sprites. So let's get one thing out of the way. Let's get the first one out of the way. I'd like to begin. Where is it? I'm looking for it. Can you see that? Can you see where the blue coin shines are? Now, this is something that I didn't think about until I played through the actual randomizer. I've played Mario Sunshine 100%, I don't know, 15, 20 times, and I realized that playing Mario Sunshine without having to collect every single blue coin and go out of your way. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to break the rules. Add row below. Oh my god, I did both. Oh my god, how do I delete this? There we go. I'm gonna there we go. This is the blue. Oh, excuse you. It's unfair of you. This is blue coin hell. I'm somebody who defends the blue coins. You gotta understand, I'm a blue coin defender. I think they add a lot to the game. However, when we're talking about ranking each individual level, right? There are 240 blue coins. There are 240 of them. That is 24 shine sprites. I was doing the math. That is a fifth of every shine in the game. There are 120 shines in the game. 24 of them are just blue coins. Now, you could argue some blue coins are fun to get, certainly. Some blue coins aren't so bad. You know, you got the ones in the Sandbird that you might have to die over and over again for. But generally, I also considered separating this entry into the first 23 blue coin shines and then the last 24th blue coin shine, because I thought that the final blue coin shine that you get, like, it completes you in a certain way. You know, if you've already exchanged all of your blue coins, which you may have done as like a child, you know what I mean? Like, because you're trying to up your shine counter. I certainly did that. You end up with like 6 blue coins in your inventory and you're looking for the final 4 of them. But once you finally are able to get all those blue coins out of your inventory and you finally collect that 24th blue coin shine, it feels really good. However, this isn't really like a level. There's literally 24 of them. I can respect the blue coins. I knew what they were going for. However, despite being a blue coin defender, I really can't rank them in the same way as every other shine that I have here in the game. Jordan, what's up? You like blue coins? The fact that some of them are exclusive to certain missions ends up making them drag as a whole. Yeah, specifically, like, there's some in Rico Harbor that are super lame. There's some in Pinna Village that are super lame. There's, like, maybe, like, Noki Bay's blue coins just as a whole can be incredibly toxic, trying to make sure you got all 30 of them. Unless you've, like, already routed the game and are, like, super invested, you know? But yeah, that's where I'm going to stick the blue coin shines. I'm waiting for my tea to cool down before I start drinking it. We're not going to be listening to the Deep Sea of Mari, I don't know. Toa Mari? Oh, wait. Now we're cooking. Bionicle tier list? Sorry. Kind of like Korok seeds. They reward exploration, figuring out a small puzzle. You don't think anyone was meant to actually get all 240. See, I don't think that either. I think that you are meant to get all 240 because it contributes directly to the shine counter, and Korok seeds, like, they give you, like, inventory upgrades, and the blue coins don't do any of that. Where would we like to start, guys? Somebody shout out a shine, because I could start going in order. I could just do the episode shines, you know, in order, or I could do the Delfino shines, but I feel like I want to get, like, a mix, because within the tier list, what I was able to do is I was able to label them so that all of each level's shines are, you know, they're back-to-back, so I have all of the gelato shines together. I have, the Watermelon Festival. All right, sure. Oh, I should make a, hold on. I'm going to make a now ranking tier. Give me a moment. Oh, I added 2 rows above. My bad. Dude, tier maker sometimes is like a little finicky. Add a row below. Now ranking. Oh my god, why does it look like that? Oh, whoa. Yeah, that's English. That's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to do. Graphic design is my passion. It's very funny. Yeah, let's talk about the Watermelon Festival. Sure, I'm in. I like the Watermelon Festival a lot. And here's the thing too, is that this is my opinion, and I'd love to get your guys' input, but I believe that the Watermelon Festival is actually like it's a pretty interesting shine. It's a pretty unique shine. Have it say on deck, but I'm now ranking it. Maybe, I mean, on deck will fit. Yeah. On deck fits. You guys can actually read that. That's totally okay. There's Watermelon Skip. Watermelon Skip is really cool. I think it's pretty memorable, and I think that if you have trouble getting the watermelon down from that top section of Gelato Beach, I think it's kind of a skill issue. I think that a lot of the episode 8 shines revolve around festivals and culture, and we'll kind of see that as we dive in more in the list. But the Watermelon Festival is like a celebration, you know? It's a celebration after you've freed Gelato Beach of the wigglers and all of the extra garbage. I don't know. You don't like it, and that's okay. You don't have to like the Watermelon Festival to respect what it's about. There's Gelato Beach Skip, where you can get the Watermelon Festival shine early, too, which I think is, like, a really cool application. I think that's a really dope thing you're able to do. I'm going to stick it in B tier right now, because I look forward to the Watermelon Festival, and I like that there's all of these little, you know, you got the Piantos and Nokis, they have their own watermelons, and, you know, Gelato Beach is a little more dangerous because all the cataquacks are red now. I think that I'm going to stick it at a B tier right now. We'll see how some of the other ones shake out, you know. Also good for the 100 coin. That's true, too. We have the 100 coin shines ranked separately here as well. So, because, you know, each of them are their own individual shines. Yeah. No. So everything in Sunshine needed a little bit more polish. Okay? I'm not going to fault certain shines for not having polish, because that's just the game. That's the game we love. That's the game we enjoy. You know? I like the fact that Sunshine's kind of a glitchy, broken mess sometimes. It's probably my favorite quality about it, if I'm being real. Besides the actual sunshine. And the water textures and the deep sea of Mare. We're in Gelato Beach. I might as well stick with Gelato Beach. Let me do a little Gelato Beach loop. Yeah. How loud is this? Oh, it's beautiful. It's a little loud. Excuse me. Can't hear it. There is some reverb. I don't like the reverb on it. There we go. Oh. I was going to Burbank City. That was an accident. What do you mean you can't hear it? I see it clearly coming through. Have I ever done a Sunshine music tier list? No. There we go. That's really Gelato Beach. What was the one you guys said? The Gelato Beach 100 coins. Let's talk about the 100 coins of Gelato Beach. I was like, it's very quiet. No, it's not. It's sitting at negative 35 decibels. That's about where background music should be. The Gelato Beach 100 coins. I don't love this one. I don't know if it's D tier, because D is as far down as we have it, right? Besides blue coin hell. I think the Gelato Beach 100 I think it's going to end up in C tier because it's definitely one of the more annoying ones to try and get all 100 coins. Sometimes you get like to 97 coins and you're like, what the hell do I do? Where are the rest of the coins? And if you're not doing it in a specific level, you can... Actually, I might need to be fact-checked on this. Are there some levels of Gelato Beach where you just cannot collect 100 coins? This actually might be a D tier shine. I'm gonna be real. Because, like, I love the Gelato Beach, like, ambiance. You know, a lot of the 100 coin missions, like, I guess, points, you know, the credit that I'm gonna give them are how fun it is to run around each individual area. You think so? It depends on the one yellow coin button. I agree with you on that as well. This actually might be a D tier shine. Because I actively don't enjoy getting 100 coins in Gelato Beach. Like, it's definitely... certain areas you could just do it pretty fast, pretty easily. I might move it down to D tier. Again, we can kind of reevaluate and revisit. I don't know why we started with episode 8 in Gelato Beach, but keep shouting them out. You want to do the Sandbird? You want to talk about the Sandbird? We could also talk about the lore implication of the Sandbird. We got a bunch to get through, guys. We got a bunch to get through. All right, let's chat about the Sandbird. I love the Sandbird, personally. I think that if you're not good at the Sandbird, it's a skill issue, first and foremost. Obviously, some of the physics with the slopes when it starts to tilt and you slide or you get caught, it's not fun to die there. But the Sandbird only moves once. It only moves a single time. Is it a B tier? What do I like more? The Watermelon Festival or the Sandbird? The Sandbird's kind of like... It's cool for the lore implications. Right? Because you've been waiting on this, like, egg to hatch. But, like, you know, at the end of the day, it's just a red coin mission. Where 7 of the red coins are on top of this thing. And if the red coins were, like, in the clouds, it might be maybe a more interesting level. And don't get me wrong, I respect the crap out of the Sandbird. But I'm going to leave it in B for now. I'm going to leave it in B. It could be an A tier, but I think we're going to get to some actual good levels. So let's chat about, let's see, in the same vein as the Sandbird. I don't want to go through all of Gelato. I'd rather kind of mix it up. Poking your head in to say that secret stages are peak. Y'all just upset about not having flood. Yo, wait. Oh god. Where's the browser source? Yo! Spectrum on Bear. You're a chuckster. Thank you guys. Thank you. Holy crap. I know that the chat is doing some weird bolding. Where's
I'm
that?
A chuckster.
Oh.
Throws secret of the village underside into S rank. Hef.
I like the secret of the village. I mean, well, let's... Hold on. That's the chat. Alright, notifications are now on screen. There we go. There we go. Much better, much better. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Goopy Inferno? We could do Goopy Inferno. I think I knew where I was going to put the Goopy Inferno from the very beginning. The idea... Now we're in Pinna Village. You guys are going to make me change up the music so much. I can't get into my Goopy Inferno vibe if I'm listening to Gelato Beach. You know? The Goopy Inferno, I think, is probably one of the best shines in the game. Because the concept of you're going into episode 3, right? And all of a sudden... Shadow Mario takes Flood away from you. And then the Goopy Inferno is just the entirety of Pinna Village is covered in this goop. And it's up to you, the player, to use this sandbox of ideas that Nintendo has allowed you to play with to figure out the best way to get to the golden mushroom and flood. And straight up, like, you can do, you know, basically whatever you want. You can climb on the tree. You could, if you were like me as a kid, I was a tree route kind of guy. You know, I'd ride along the railing and I'd go up the tree and I'd do like a spin jump all the way down, spin dive. You could go into the water and you could spin jump from the water, and then that would clear like some of the goop to allow you to jump to other spots. You could do the intended way. You could go underneath the village. You could do all the flipping with the grates and stuff like that. Like, there's so many good ideas that just spawn from this idea of having a level take away flood and expecting you to go and get flood. I think the Goopy Inferno is like, I think that's peak Mario Sunshine. Because it really is one of those that, like, you know, it poses a problem and it asks the player to solve it. And there are so many different solutions that I think it's just like, it's just very cool. It's very dynamic. It really is kind of excellent. You were a take the underground path kind of guy? That's wild. That's wild. I never took the underground path. All right, let's see here. Give me another one. Give me another one, chat. Give me another one. I'm going to sip my tea. Mecha Bowser. You got it. Sorry. Oh my god. I'm dying. I don't know why. Mecha Bowser. Does Mecha Bowser have a theme? Oh, he does. I don't know. Because, like, okay, so I like the intro to this level. It's the first mission in Pinna Park. I like all the cutscenes attached to it, and it's certainly climactic. But I think that the actual gameplay of beating Mecha Bowser, like with the torpedoes or the rockets or whatever you want to call them, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Is it a B tier? It's super iconic, at least. It looks cooler than it is. It just doesn't feel good. Watermelon Festival? We already have that one ranked. It's a little hectic. Yeah, and there's certainly, like, the bullet bills are chasing you and all that type of stuff. Even the worst shines in the game are, like, C tier. I also feel that same way. I love every shine in Sunshine. I do. I maybe not everyone, but I am tolerant of all of them. You know, I'm not going to be that guy who's like, the lily pad shine is the worst. You got to send Yoshi all the way on the boat. It's like, yeah, that's the point, though. That's the point, you know? I think Mecha Bowser is a B tier. I think that's pretty solid, because it's one of the only, like, true big boss fights of the game that Shadow Mario is, like, directly involved in. And then you get if I am including, like, the cutscenes with it and stuff, even if you consider them kind of cringe, you know, I think that revealing Shadow Mario as Bowser Jr. here, like, there's good things about Mecha Bowser. Let's talk about the other roller coaster. Oh my god. Okay, this one is one that is sort of unforgivable, though. This one's sort of unforgivable. I'm putting this one in C tier. The roller coaster balloons, it's not even close to as fun as Mecha Bowser. Because Mecha Bowser, you are aiming in a single spot. You are always aiming at Mecha Bowser. The roller coaster balloons, though, dude, like, you could have 19 of them, and, you know, this actually might be a D tier shine. It might be a D tier shine. It's timed. Well, I think Mecha Bowser... Isn't Mecha Bowser timed, too? Don't you only get 3 laps for Mecha Bowser? And this is definitely worse than the Gelato Beach 100 coins, then. Because, like, you got the rocket RNG, you know? A lot of the level you're just spent like waiting for your next rocket. If you don't know that you could spray, because what you can do is you can use the spray nozzle on rockets that are far away, and that'll automatically, for some freaking reason, it'll teleport that rocket to flood, so then you could get more rockets that way. But like I never look forward to doing the roller coaster balloons. I've gotten good at it, or at least decent at it. Yeah, they're both timed. Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. But it's not fun to play through, like, at all. And especially when your rocket, like, collides with the actual track itself, or, like, you know, obviously there's the rocket RNG. I'm not a huge fan of the roller coaster balloons, I'll admit. I'm not somebody to poo-poo a lot of Sunshine's levels, but I don't know. I think that the rockets work better, like, in Eclipse, because this is the only time you get to, like, have rockets on Flood, I think, in the vanilla game, right? I believe it's just those 2 levels, which in itself makes the roller coaster, like, kind of interesting. It's timeless, but you can't heal. I see. Yeah. I think I'm okay with that. Alright, what else? Shoot another one. Maybe I should go in order. PD Piranha. Okay, so down with PD Piranha. Does PD Piranha have a theme? Mario Sunshine boss theme. Boss battle versus boss. He only yeah, it's just versus boss. And that's fine. I like the intro cutscene to it. I think there's a little... It's cool that you can skip episode 1 to get to episode 2. But besides that, man, I don't know if it's... I don't think it's an S tier. I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. I may put it in A. Do I like it more than the Watermelon Festival? Yeah, I think so. It feels like an A tier shine. PD Piranha's like very simple. He's the first boss in the game. And obviously, if you're familiar with like how to activate his throw up animation, then you can always get him to do that. So like, I don't know. I guess in that sense, you can see that there's a little 8 in the corner right there. Can you guys see my cursor also? Okay, yeah, you can see my cursor. Good. Good, good, good. Let's stick with Bianco Hills. Let's stick with Bianco Hills for a second. Yeah. I think this one deserves to be an A tier, but chat, how do we feel about PD Piranha Strikes Back is the better question. Because, like, on paper, right, this boss fight is significantly cooler than the first one, right? Because, like, he's out in the open, he's flying around, he's got the tornado attacks, there's more goop, there's more enemies, you know, you got the little freaking, the pink balloon guys that latch on to Flood obnoxiously. Like, on paper, it feels like this rematch should be like an S tier, but there's like so much RNG to how he flies, and if you don't know how to get him to like puke automatically, then he's just gonna be tossing tornadoes and swinging his head, and you could end up doing like a lot more cycles on PD Piranha than you ever like wanted to. Doesn't offer new stuff to the fight. I guess so. I mean, you topple them from the air, and the tornadoes themselves are, like, interesting. I don't hate it. I don't love it, though. I think I definitely like the first fight with PD Piranha more. I think it really just boils down to, like, the RNG of, like, where he goes in the village and trying to chase him down. But, like, I like that it's a little more difficult. It lasts a little bit longer. It reminds me of Fiery PD from Eclipse. Obviously, they're the same kind of enemy, you know? But, like, Fiery PD was so much worse. As I was editing the rando, I was thinking about Fiery PD, and I was like, yeah, that boss needed to be nerfed. Do I like it more or less than the Watermelon Festival or the Sandbird? You know, I think for the lore implications, Mecha Bowser appears. I do like it more than Mecha Bowser. Can I drag this? There we go. I think that's a good spot for it for now. I like it more than the Mecha Bowser fight because I think I like PD Piranha more as a character and as a boss and like a whole bunch of stuff. There's a whole bunch of reasons why. But I don't think I like it more than the Watermelon Festival. To me is just like, it's cozy. I like the Watermelon Festival a lot. I expected to put it maybe in like A tier, but I think it works better in B tier. And the Sandbird's got all these lore implications and fun, you know, it's just a fun idea. Yeah, that's okay. Let's stick on this PD Piranha centered mindset. Let's talk about Shine number 1 in Bianco Hills, the road to the big windmill. Now, this is your first intro to Bianco Hills, and this thing is spitting out PD Piranha heads. There's a lot of goop. Sunshine is so interesting because the areas start out like super covered in goop, but then as you progress like through the missions, you know, the area starts to get cleaner. You know, the Dirty Lake gets cleaned up. Noki Bay gets cleaned up. There's not as much goop. The residents are happier. The more shines you collect, the more sun there is. I mean, that's just in the plaza, but you know what I mean, right? Like, so it's interesting that like the first mission in the game is like so dirty. It is just another fight with a Proto Piranha, but I like the idea that you could just skip that entirely and go right to PD Piranha. I think that that's probably the most interesting like piece about Road to the Big Windmill, right? Is that it's optional, and it's like the only optional episode shine of the ones you need to do to beat the game. I think that makes it in itself pretty damn interesting. Yeah, this mission and the PD mission together in your head makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. Are those separate shines? Yeah, Road to the Big Windmill and Down with PD Piranha are two separate shines, because you get a shine from defeating the Proto Piranha right here, but then you get teleported out of the level, and the bridge, or the hill up to the windmill comes back. But you could skip Road to the Big Windmill entirely in a speedrun / vanilla playthrough. I don't know. I mean, it is just a fight with a Proto Piranha, but I love its piece in the context of speedrunning. Like, the level itself is getting to PD Piranha, but if you're going for 100%, obviously you're going to defeat the Proto Piranha. I'm thinking it's a B tier. I don't want to put it, like, my gut tells me C tier because it's just a fight with a Proto Piranha, but it is spitting out like the PD Piranha heads. I think B tier, but I'm just not quite sure exactly where. I think I'm gonna give it some points over PD Piranha Strikes Back. I'll leave it right there for now. That's okay. That'll work. Where's number 2? The Hillside Cave. No, Hillside Cave's 3. 2 is PD Piranha. Hillside Cave is 3. Is the intro? Does it show you Shadow Mario in the intro to the Hillside Cave secret? Like when you're first seeing the level and it gives you that like intro cutscene, does it show Shadow Mario like in front of the cave, or is it just the cave? I can't, cause I sort of have a placebo about that. I sort of felt like it did show you Shadow Mario like at least standing in front of the cave. But maybe it doesn't. Maybe it just shows you the cave with the arrow. Only in the cave cutscene. And this is ranking the actual secret itself. I'm pretty sure it doesn't as well, but I think I've placeboed myself into thinking that it does. For sure. Mandela, yeah, that placebo, Mandela, they're kind of the same thing, right? They're kind of the same thing. I mean, it's the first secret of the game. The spot with the orange boxes is certainly, like, the most challenging part of the secret. Like, sometimes you could just, like, accidentally, like, ledge hang from one and then, like, accidentally fall off. There's, yeah, getting up to the hillside is also kind of cool. Like, it's in an interesting spot in the map. I think the Dirty Lake is more interesting than it, though. It's decent. I hate to give it B tier. S tier. Nah, Hillside Cave Secret can't have S tier. There's gonna be... Listen, this list is gonna look like a parabola, okay? There's gonna be a few shines that are, like, super S tier, and then there's gonna be a few shines that are, like, D tier. I think that this is somewhere around the middle, you know? I think it's somewhere around the middle. You know, I might bump up the Watermelon Festival and the Sandbird. I'm gonna bump these two up. I'm gonna bump these two up, and I'm gonna stick the Hillside Cave Secret. I might put them back down depending on how many end up in A tier. Parabola. No, not parable. Yeah. Bunch of wires on the left, but good wall kicks get you up there from below the entrance. It's true. And you can wall kick off that. Is it a windmill pole? It might just be a windmill pole. I think it is a windmill pole. And then you got the secret itself, which is like, it's kind of basic, but it's also the first one you do. Yeah, this is a good spot for it, I think. That's a good spot for it. Might as well rank the red coins in them while we're here. Again, it's kind of nice to figure out that this exists. I like that some of the extra elements of this are, like, purposed, and they do that a lot in the secret levels. Like, there's sometimes, like, extra spaces that you don't go to that you can now go to with Flood on, like, the second go-around. But I think that I'm going to stick the Hillside red coins. I'm going to stick them, like, right next to the secret itself, because it's not that much different except for these 2-star platforms. Mecha Bowser is in B. Yeah, I think so. I think it's a B tier red coin challenge. You know, it's nothing too spectacular. Some of the red coin challenges are gonna be a little different, you know what I mean? But yeah, let's stick in Bianco Hills. I'm feeling Bianco Hills coded for sure. Red coins of the Windmill Village. I think this one is like... I think this is a C tier, bro. Like, you gotta understand that it's like a blink and you miss it kind of shine. There's not really, like, a lot to do here. It's like, okay, now there's red coins on the village. Are there any extra NPCs telling you, like, what to do or dropping any lore or any interesting, like, gameplay elements added? Like, are there a bunch of windies or whatever they're called? Like, no, it's just there's red coins dropped on some roofs. There's the one that's, like, kind of floating in the middle of everywhere. It's, like, definitely one of the worst red coin shines, I think. I don't think there's anything that, like, is super redeemable about it either. The Clean Bells Shine Gate be in their own tier. Maybe, but it's also a matter of vibes, right? This one doesn't have the vibes. It's literally like you're going through the game, you make it to this one, and then you spend a little bit of time in Bianco Hills and you collect some red coins. It's not nearly as, like, fun or exploratory as the next Bianco Hills red coin shine, which, you know, we'll get to. I think that ranking all the Bianco Hills levels at this point is probably a good idea. But I think that this is, like, it is a blink and you miss it. You get the red coins, you collect the shine. There's nothing else really going on. Nothing else that cool. Let's chat about the Dirty Lake. Holy shit, the Dirty Lake, bro. Okay. All right. I know what you're going to say. You're going to be like, have S tier? Are you sure? Are you sure it's S tier? Doing this secret as a kid, the dirty lake was dangerous, bro. Not only is the dirty lake itself and the ideas of having to, you know, move on this deteriorating lily pad, like, really cool, but the actual, like, entrance to the dirty lake is something that's been, like, surrounded in kind of some mystery, right? You got the gate, you got the, oh, it's like a little waterfall pouring out, and then the secret itself is, like, definitely, if not the hardest secret, at least the second hardest secret, I think. And I just think that a lot of good elements come together here. It's a rough one, and maybe that speaks to what I prioritize as far as, like, you know, difficulty in my Mario games. It might just be a top of A tier. It might not be an S tier, but I think I'm going to leave it an S tier for now, because it could be like a bottom of S tier type thing. But I think the Dirty Lake is, like, I think it's pretty cool. Although, you know what? I'm actually going to put it in A tier. I just convinced myself, because you can just skip the Dirty Lake. You could just skip it. You could just go to the, not even the top of the windmill. You could just go to, like, Jesus. You can go to, like, the midway portion of that hill and just, like, jump and hover and dive to the logs. And then you don't even have to do, like, you know, the dirty lily pad mechanic, or try to, you know, bounce from lily pad to lily pad. Like, the intended route is to start with that lady who says, like, oh yeah, you can use the lily pads to get over there or whatever. But you could just skip that part, which I think does kind of knock some points off of it. The fact there's a turbo nozzle at the entrance is so funny. It's like you wanted to use it for the novelty, but also objectively the worst pick for a nozzle. No, totally. Might not have even realized the lily pad route was even a thing till later. Yeah, no, exactly. That too. Because, like, even a casual would be like, oh, the lake is dangerous. I'm just not going to go in the lake, right? I'm just going to hover nozzle to it, and I'm just going to jump from this hillside, and it's going to be fine. And I might take a little bit of damage when I land on the log, but I don't have to do any of the beginning part of it. I think I'm going to leave it an A tier. The red coins of the Dirty Lake, let me think about where these are. It's pretty mid. It's pretty mid. I hate to say the Dirty Lake is, like, great, but this is a secret that super benefits from not having flood, but once you get flood, all of that, not all of it, but most of the danger kind of dissipates from the Dirty Lake level itself. I think I'm going to stick it right next to, I'm going to stick it above these two. Yeah, that's right. That feels right. The Dirty Lake red coins, they're not super tough. They're just kind of, you know, there's 24 red coin missions too, which is a fifth of all the shine sprites. A fifth of them are blue coins, and a fifth of them are red coins. Fun fact for you. Feel like it shouldn't have been a secret level since it's the source of water for the lake, and it just turns into the Doot Doot Void. I love the Doot Doot Void, though. Shadow Mario on the loose. This is a nothing burger. That's a nothing burger of a shine. I mean, a lot of the Shadow Mario ones, I'm probably going to sneeze. I'm sorry. Oh, God. It's coming. Yep, there it was. I knew it was going to happen. I might have a second one. I always have a second one on deck. That's a nothing burger of a Shadow Mario shine. Because he doesn't even do anything cool. There's no extra enemies. He doesn't have a ton of health. You know, he only runs through the Windmill Village portion of Bianco Hills, too. Like, he doesn't even go to the other side. I don't know. Yeah, and you see Shadow Mario swim in the river. And he takes no damage. And you're like, wait, I thought you were weak to water. It turns out he's only weak to high-pressure water. Go figure. And then the red coins of the lake. I think the red coins of the lake are, like, they're substantially more interesting than the red coins of the Windmill Village. Because, like, you're bouncing on tight ropes and, you know, you got the rocket nozzle now. It's like, it's a good way to repurpose this area. Because you probably haven't been all up on the tight ropes and been exploring here quite yet. But they are there. I think it's probably a B tier shine. I think I'm going to put it I'm going to put it like right here. No, you know what? I like it more than Road to the Big Windmill. Because even though I like how it interacts with Down with PD Piranha, I think that, like, this shine is, like, generally more enjoyable. I also like how the shine spawns, like, in the windmill. And I think that the coins here are placed in a lot more, like, interesting positions than they are in the Windmill Village. The Windmill Village, you're like, okay, I have 5 of them, and I've been in the level for 30 seconds. You know what I mean? So... And the Bianco Hills 100 coin. Last shine in Bianco Hills. This one's like... It's kind of a slog, but it's a slog in like a positive way, if that makes any sense. You have to be careful about how you kill the pokies. Yeah. Because, like, if you stomp on the pokies' heads, they only give you 1 coin. But if you blow them into the wall with the spray nozzle, they give you 3 coins. So you have to, like... Well, I guess one of my favorite things to do as a kid was to get the turbo nozzle, wake up all of the pokies, and then have, like... I don't even know. 12 to 18 pokies, like, bouncing after you and chasing you. The first red coin mission is better for a beginner stage and learning the layout, but you don't like red coins of the lake because 2 red coin missions in the same level is redundant. Yes, I agree with you, but like the Windmill Village itself isn't very interesting because it wants you to like use your spray nozzle to rotate the windmill thing so you can get to the coins easier, but like nobody's doing that. You can just spin jump, you can just backflip, you can just hover nozzle. But you actually have to engage like with the tight ropes and the rocket nozzle and like that type of stuff in the red coins of the lake. And I think that means it's like a more successful level in my eyes anyway. This is a good one. I like running around Bianco Hills. I like the 100 coin shines. What do we think, chat? I feel like we have a lot of B tier shines right now. It's kind of a little wild. It's not a C tier. It's certainly not an A tier. I could give it maybe top of C tier. It could take a long time. And like if you don't love having to like optimize your pokey killing, it's not like Bianco Hills has a ton of coins either. Yeah, I'll give it top of C tier for now, I think. Because I think that you end up, like, just scrounging for coins. I really do. There's certain 100 coin missions that you just, like... You're just scrounging for them, dude. You're just scrounging for them. Alright, chat, where are we headed? I'm going to use the bathroom. What level are we headed to next? We just did all of Bianco Hills. So I don't know where we're going. Just don't enjoy the 100 coin missions in general. I totally get that. But I think that Pinna Park is actually not a big offender. I think the Pinna Park is like, it's easily the most digestible 100 coin mission. But I'm going to use the bathroom quick because I just had that urge hit me. You feel me? Rico Harbor? Yeah, we can go to Rico Harbor. We can do it in order. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. It's puppy dog's dinner time, y'all. Puppy dog's dinner time. They're not that bad except the airport one. The red coins? No, let's go to Rico Harbor. Rico Harbor theme. Rico Harbor. Where are you? Oh, down in RB or RH. Yes. Gooper Blooper breaks out. Let's start at the beginning here. Gooper Blooper, special place in my heart now. We just won our Mario Mon hardcore Nuzlocke, and Gooper Blooper was our starter. If you guys haven't checked out Mario Mon, please do so. I might make a video on it. I might not. I haven't quite decided. I wasn't going to initially, but as soon as I realized that all of the assets for Mario Mon are like pretty publicly available, like I just downloaded them all, and all of a sudden I got access to all the sprites and all the stat spreads and like all that stuff. Like it's significantly more manageable. But we're not here to talk about Mario Mon. We are here to talk about Super Mario Sunshine. Gooper Blooper breaks out. This is a good boss fight. If Down with Petey Piranha is an A tier, I think Gooper Blooper breaks out is also an A tier. Because that first cutscene is like pretty cool. And I think it's significantly like more engaging of a boss fight than Down with Petey Piranha is. Because like, I don't love this fight, but like I usually always enjoy fighting Gooper Blooper. Oh, there we go. I'm like, why can't I move anything? No, I think Gooper Blooper is definitely above Petey. I'm going to put it underneath the Dirty Lake, though. Because I think the Dirty Lake secret is, like, kind of peak. But it's held back by a couple things, you know? No, I think getting to Gooper Blooper is fun, too. Because it makes you explore, like, the ships and, like, that little... not shipyard area, but you know what I mean, like those docks and that sort of stuff. So I think it's like a cool introduction to Rico Harbor. Discovering Gooper Blooper is pretty dope. Yeah, learning you don't need to tear off all of his arms is also pretty good. Like if you can, you know, I learned recently if you ground pound all of his tentacles, they all go down. Previously, I had been able to get 3 by doing a triple jump. The first time is good, but that's a general Sunshine problem. Yeah, and I like how the boss fight kind of starts, too. Like, Petey is just sitting at the top of the windmill. Gooper Blooper is like... he's hiding. You don't know what the heck's going on with Gooper Blooper. So... I'll give it to him. I'll give him A tier. That's fine with me. Blooper Surfing Safari. Oh, yo. This might be controversial. This might be controversial. So, this shine is really cool, right? Because not only do you have to engage with this new blooper surfing mechanic, you get a whole course for it, and yeah, coldest take ever. Yeah, maybe it could be. I'm not sure. Some people might hate it. Green blooper enjoyers might hate it. But I think the blooper surfing safari is like, you know, you having to get into that tunnel with the blooper, and then all of a sudden you have a course you have to do. Like, it's not just use the blooper to like find a shine or something. I like the race course. I like the speed running tech. I like how that you can like completely skip having the blooper and you could just do the checkpoints. I think that's pretty dope. The secret blooper shine's pain though. You think so? Blue, according to Press A's colorblindness. Is he colorblind or is he just a rage baiter? No, and I think that, like, riding the course is also fun. This is one of those shines that, like, it's just fun to play. Like, riding on the bloopers is just... I enjoy it. So... and this is one that, like, you'll go back in and just do to have fun, I think. I think this is, like, one of the most fun shines in the game. You're relatively certain he sincerely thinks it's blue. It's okay. He's allowed to be wrong. I think that's an S tier. I don't think it's as good as the Goopy Inferno, because the Goopy Inferno is like peak. But I think Blooper Surfing Safari's pretty damn incredible. Alright, this one. the caged shine sprite. This is like the most Rico Harbor you get to explore. And adding this whole new element to it, like with this big yellow caged pipe thing. I don't even know what it's like a bottle. Like, why is it shaped like that, right? Who is this for? But yeah, you get to climb like the rafters of Rico Harbor. I think this is an A tier. I think this shine's an A tier, which sounds dumb. It sounds dumb to make it an A tier, but I'm pretty sure it's an A tier. Because getting up to it's like, it's satisfying, it's fun. There's like the speedrun tech where you can like Beyblade into a spin jump to like hover, and then you latch on to the bottom of it, and I think that's really dope too. Dude, I might like this more than Gooper Blooper. That's crazy. That I didn't think I liked the Cage Shine Sprite this much. But I think it's just excellent, dude. Yeah, I think A tier's a really good spot for it. I think I like it more than the Gooper Blooper fight. One of your favorite stages in the game. And like, yeah, there's like a whole bunch of different ways you can like get up to these platforms. You can do the expected thing, and you can go to the right and you can climb on like the Rico Harbor cranes and stuff to like get up here. Or you can go the Gooper Blooper route and like, you know, you could backflip onto the rafters from there. I think that like a lot of the sandboxy, like figure out the best way forward ones, I think that's really where Mario Sunshine shines. No pun intended. I think that when you have like a bunch of different options to figure out like, okay, how am I going to get this shine? I think that, you know, it showcases the strengths of Mario Sunshine, which is the movement, the jumping, I don't want to say the pathfinding, but just like that type of thing. You know, it's not like you're just collecting red coins. This is like, there's a bunch of different ways to get in there. I think that A tier's good. A tier's good for that. Secret of Rico Tower. You gotta get the rocket to get up here. The secret itself is like good. It came back in Galaxy 2, which means that Nintendo likes it a lot. But I don't think that like getting up to Rico Tower isn't as cool as like getting up to the Hillside Cave secret. Is that just me? It kind of frustrates me getting up to the tower. The secret section in itself is good. In fact, it's probably, besides the Dirty Lake, my favorite that we've discussed so far. It came back in Galaxy 2. No, the secret itself is iconic for sure. I think that if I'm gonna stick it at the bottom of A, because the secret's great. The secret is really, really good. But I'm not a fan of getting up to this part, even though there's like obviously a bunch of different ways you can do it, right? You can parkour your way to the top of the tower. You don't need the rocket nozzle to get up here. The particular mushroom challenge elevates this one past just meh. Particular mushroom challenge. What is that? Do I like it more than the Sandbird? No. No, I don't. I like the Sandbird a lot. I like that you get to go inside of the Sandbird's egg and it teleports you to the sky. It's pretty cool. You can beat the stage using the turbo nozzle and it's kind of crazy fun. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good secret. It's a good secret. Watermelon Festival, Sandbird's Born. I'm going to leave it at the top of A for now. I'm going to leave it at the top of A. The red coins of this one, that's a checklist shine for sure. Where is it? Rico Tower red coins. There we are. Yeah. This one, I mean, it's like fine. The secret's so much better when you don't have flood, when you are just parkouring from spinning wooden peg to spinning wooden peg, and you're twisting the camera to make sure you're not on a slope that's gonna kill you. Barry can't not have red coins at this point. Type red coin shine? Yeah. There's only one true secret in Rico Harbor, though, and that's the Rico Tower. It's not C tier. It's not C tier. The Rico Tower red coins. I mean, it kind of ruins a lot of the novelty of, like, how tough the platforming can be. You know, I think that certain secrets benefit from having flood available to you. I think that this is one that doesn't quite benefit as heavy. You know what I mean? Like, the part that makes Rico Tower interesting is the fact you have to do it floodless. But as soon as you get flood, it's like, okay, you got to get up there with flood. And then you might have the rocket nozzle, actually. If you go in there with the rocket nozzle, that's a little suspect, right? Because you can, that's how that works. So I think B tier is like totally fine for it. In fact, you know, yeah, maybe that's a pretty big discrepancy, but I think this is fair for it. I like the Hillside Cave red coins because you gotta like explore separate parts that you hadn't previously now that you have access to flood, because you couldn't get over to these stars without him. Actually, you might be able to with a spin jump, but I sort of don't think so. Yeah, it's a good spot for it. Where is... Oh, wait. The Gooper Blooper returns. I was about to skip right to Shadow Mario. You like being able to do the secret levels with Flood? Feels like a nice earned reward to show you how much easier things are with him. It's true. So, if I like the initial fight with Gooper Blooper, how do I feel about the rematch? It's probably down here with Petey. It's not interesting at all. This does not add anything to, like, it's cool that he comes back as the boss of Tricky Ruins, which we'll get to later when we talk about Noki Bay. But I think Gooper Blooper Returns is like it's very underwhelming. Like, in comparison to Petey, who, like, descends on the village and is whipping up tornadoes and, like, you know, spitting goop everywhere, Gooper Blooper, he was just moved slightly to the right, and it's the same level, basically. He might have, like, I think he has new attacks, maybe? I would say maybe C as well. I think B is a little too generous, honestly. It's a really lame rematch. And he doesn't have anything that makes it, like, cool, either. I like it more than the red coins of Windmill Village and the Shadow Mario mission, though, I guess. Ha! Yeah, I'll stick it in C tier. I'll stick it in C tier. Yoshi is not required to reach him, no. Oh, chat. We gotta discuss this one. Haha. How do we feel about the red coins on the water? It's a banger. It is kind of a banger. It's hard. Dude, this is a hard level. As a kid, I think it's kind of great. It's at least A tier. It's at least A tier. I don't know if it's S tier. Because it's more blooper surfing, but the stakes are so high. If you crash, you die. You're forced to grab it with the blooper for some reason, though. Yes, you are. After you, like, collect the 8th red coin, and that's probably the part of the shine that is, like, crazy, is that once you collect that 8th red coin, it sends you to the Shine Sprite cutscene, and then, after that's done, it refocuses back on Mario, who's still driving the blooper. And you could easily die there. And you have to get the shine while riding the blooper, unless you crash into the little tuber guy. You know, because you guys can, you know you can do that, right? Like, you can crash into the Pianta in the water, and that will dismount you from the blooper. But, I mean, I don't know. I'm somebody who prioritizes difficulty. I think this is one of the most infamous shines in the game. Yeah, getting the shine while on the blooper is probably the hardest part of the level. I think that, yeah, I would agree with that. Besides the red coin that you have to jump for, you could also use the turbo nozzle too. You don't have to use the blooper. You don't have to use the blooper if you have the turbo nozzle unlocked at this point, which you do, I think, right? I don't really know how the nozzle unlocks work in like each individual level, because you don't need to defeat Shadow Mario in Delfino Plaza to get access to the nozzles within the levels themselves. But I couldn't, like, let's say that this is like the 10th shine you do, right? Because it can be. Because you could do like the first couple levels of Bianco Hills, and then you could unlock Rico Harbor, and then you could just gun it through Rico Harbor. I don't know if you could be locked out of the turbo nozzle at that point in the game. You probably can. It probably doesn't just like give it to you. They spawn on each level at a certain mission. Hitting them there unlocks them in the rest. Each level. Really? I mean, this might be where you get the turbo nozzle for the first time. I mean, I like this more than Down with PD Piranha. I like it more than Breaks Out. I'm gonna put it in A tier. I'm not gonna put it in S tier, because I think the Blooper Surf and Safari is like, that's a level you want to replay, you know? I think that this is not really a level you're gonna want to replay all too often. Turbos in the later episodes, you can do the shine even with regular hover. It's true. It's true, you certainly can. But the shine is not fun to do with the regular hover. If you're just swimming in the water and you're like hovering for each red coin, like you're not having a fun time. And it's super tight. So it's like, I don't know. Yeah, I think that A tier is good. I think A tier is pretty good for it. Shadow Mario Revisited. Now, I ranked Shadow Mario on the loose. This is in Bianco Hills, the Bianco Hills Shadow Mario. That's C tier because, like, he doesn't do anything cool. I think that this one is actually, like, a little bit more interesting because Shadow Mario can be hard to chase down. I like that he goes on top of the rafters of Rico Harbor and he's not just, like, fumbling around that, like, market area, because that they could have easily just had him do that. But I don't think it's like that exceptional, at least in comparison to Shadow Mario on the Loose. It's definitely not the most interesting Shadow Mario mission, but it is better than on the Loose. But it's not like, it's not better than everything above it. I think I'm willing to stick it like here. It's better than the first one, but I don't think it's a B tier. I think all the Shadow Mario missions, except for like one of them, are meh. Maybe like 2. I would say 2 of the Shadow Mario missions are kind of better than the rest. That was 7. Yoshi's Fruit Adventure. I'm like, where am I looking? Oh boy. This is one that's clowned on, certainly. You get the durian RNG. It's not a lot of fun having to spawn all of these fruit just to get the durian for Yoshi. But at the same time, it's kind of interesting. Mediana with 5 gifteds. I appreciate you, Mediana. Welcome back. Everybody who got gifted, make sure to say thank you. And also, you're welcome. If you're a member, chat, you guys can use the cool emotes that I have. You ready? And the shine get noise. Wow, look. There's this one. And there's that one. Do I have a Mario Sunshine emote? I don't even think I do. I got Pikmin. I got Pokemon. Dude, I have no Mario emotes. Oh my god, I have no Mario emotes. I have a Zelda emote. I have Groose. It's the only level that requires 2 different Yoshi colors. Maybe on paper. Because the game wants you to change Yoshi's color with the coconut on the tree. It wants you to use those, like, little areas to the left of all the elevated platforms to change Yoshi's color. However, spin jumping is a thing. And Yoshi's spin jump kind of invalidates everything except for the first cheap platform, I guess. Because all you need to do is just ride this single platform over to that platform. I know that's too whatever. But I don't think that it's, like, interesting. Figuring out to spray the fish for platforms was so cryptic to you. This one is a little cryptic. This one's very cryptic, actually, because you might not even know that you need to ground pound on the fruit dispensers. I remember, like, as a kid, not knowing what the hell to do. Yoshi's only unlocked after Pinna Park 4. Yes, that's true. No, you're correct about that. So, yeah, no, and that's another thing, too, is that Yoshi might not even be there when you, like, go into this level. And you're like, oh, Yoshi's Fruit Adventure, and the Yoshi egg isn't even spawned. And that feels bad, you know? That's very confusing. I guess I'm just trying to figure out, like, what qualities I like about it. I think that spin jumping with Yoshi is, like, satisfying. I mean, that's, like, one of the most satisfying things in the game. But, like, it's not exceptionally fun to get the fruit. Because especially when the durian actually spawns and it hits... This is a C tier shine, guys. This is a C tier, bro. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's, yeah, low C. Low C. I'm going to give it over the Windmill Village and Shadow Mario on the loose. Because it's a terrible feeling when you spawn the durian and it hits the fruit that have already spawned. And then the durian gets knocked into the water and you have to do the ground pounding for the fruit over again. The puzzle's not even, like, correct, right? Like, the game expects you to do so many things, but it doesn't, like, tell you how to do them. So it's like, okay, Yoshi might not be there. The fruit might not spawn correctly. You might be cycling through it all of the time. The Yoshi platforms, it wants you to switch colors of Yoshi to make the platforms do different things. You don't even have to do that. I don't know. There's a lot that's working against this level, I think. I think there's a lot working against it. It is interesting that this is the only time that, like, Yoshi needs a durian. And having the marketplace happen, again, every 8th episode, besides, I would say, Bianco Hills, is, like, a celebration of some kind, you know? So, like, the market's finally in full swing. You got all the vendors, but, like, none of them are that interesting. There's that blue coin that I hate. Yeah. Yoshi's Fruit Adventure, that's a C tier. It kind of pains me to put it in C tier. But, like, I don't really look forward to that one either, so. The blooper speed run. This is after you've done blooper once. You can go back in, you can get the secret shine. So this is just... These two are basically interchangeable. And as a secret shine, I think that this works a lot better than the red coin shines kind of do. I don't know if I should put it in S tier. I feel like it's almost like too much blooper representation here. It might be an A tier. But like I like that it's like, oh, you just need to beat your time. Let me hold on. Blooper speedrun. I just want to know. It's under 40 seconds. So it's under 45 initially, and then under 40 for the secret one. Rico by far is the best variation of this theme. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of the same thing, right? It's just 45 seconds versus 40 seconds. And it's a little harder, but like the idea is that you should want to grind blooper surfing because it's just fun to do. And I remember, like, I think I accidentally discovered this shine. I was like, oh, I guess that if I'm just faster, I get another one. You can do them blooperless too. You just need to get under 40 seconds to get this second one. I think I'm gonna, yeah, I'll give it S tier. I'll give it S tier. And then the Rico Harbor 100 coins. I think this one's, it's more fun than the Bianco Hills 100 coins. It's more fun than Bianco Hills. But there's a lot more like sewer travel. And it's way more like intricate. And then if you fall down from those top rafters, you got to get all the way back up there. You definitely spend longer on these 100 coins than the Bianco Hills ones. And I have the Bianco Hills ones in C, which, you know, I mean, I'll and there's not a lot of coins in Rico Harbor either. It depends on what level you do it in, too. I think the Bianco Hills 100 is more fun than the Rico Harbor 100. The Rico Harbor 100 can be frustrating. It usually isn't, but it can be. You can get it Chapter 1 by abusing the Gooper Blooper loading a new level. Oh, that's true. And that is kind of funny. I like it less than the Bianco Hills one. I think that means that I need to move the Bianco Hills one up. Yeah. Because I enjoy doing the Bianco Hills 100 coins. Usually. It feels like I'm actually able to, like... How do I put this? Have some autonomy as to how I get the coins. Whereas Rico, it's like, oh, you just need to collect every single one you see. And if you fall, you need to do it all over again. It's not as bad as Gelato Beach. The Gelato Beach ones, that's rough. But Rico Harbor 100s. I hate to stick all the Rico, like half the Rico Harbor levels. Which is funny that 5, 7, and 8 are all in C tier. But Rico Harbor has such a strong start. And then it just peters out by the end. Which is kind of comical. Yeah, I don't like this one now. It's not D tier. It's not D tier. I'll put it right underneath Bianco Hills 100 coins. For now. We can revisit that. Chat, where are we going? That was all the Rico Harbor shines. Where are we off to? Are we a Mario Sunshine channel? Oh my god, we are. Supposed Gelato Beach. Have I done Pinna Village? We started doing random ones, but then we started going in order because I got tired of changing the music. Oh. And that was the end. That was 30 minutes of Rico Harbor. Wow, that's beautiful. We can go back to Gelato Beach. We can go back to Gelato Beach. That's fine. I ain't mad about that. The Dune Bud Sand Castle secret. This is like such a nothing burger of a level. This is like the most nothing burger secret, I think. Because it's like the intro cutscene is like, oh, spray the thing. And it's like, okay, I did it. And then I went inside and now there's just more sand. And then you run in a straight line, you jump a couple of times. And all of a sudden you get the shine. It's like, I don't know. It's a C tier level to me. I guess I like it more than the 100 coins. It's very fast. It's like an introduction to Gelato Beach too. But like, think about the introductions to like Bianco Hills. Like the Bianco Hills introduction with like the road to the big windmill. That's got a lot more going on there. You got the Proto Piranha who's like spitting stuff. You know, like it's Bianco Hills is dirty. You got Gooper Blooper breaks out as the start of Rico Harbor. But then like the Dune Bud Sandcastle, it's like, okay, you spend 15 seconds on the beach. You spray the thing that it tells you to spray in the intro cutscene, and then you do the level, and it's like, okay, I guess that was a level. There's just not a lot of substance there. I like how the sandcastle pops out of the ground, maybe, but I don't think that's enough to warrant any higher than C tier. I think it's short enough and simple enough that I'm willing to give it C tier here. I can't give it B. I don't want to give it D. Let's move on. Mirror Madness, Tilt, Slam, Bam. Dude, this might... I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. This is where Gelato Beach actually starts. This feels like it should be maybe the first level. And it's kind of complicated too, because like at this point, you could access Gelato Beach and you might not have even used the ground pound before. You know what I mean? You got the plungellos. These are plungelos. I also love how the music shifts. Like when you're on the solar panels, right? When you're on the solar panels, it plays like the boss theme. But when you're off of it, it just goes back to the regular Gelato Beach theme. And like this one feels like you're actually accomplishing something. And you're like, you know, you're doing a service for Gelato Beach. And then you know what? And then the Wiggler falls apart, which is kind of crazy after you beat it. Doing this in the rando was also really hard without the spray nozzle or backflip or spin jump. I think that gameplay wise, I think I like it more than... That feels right to me. I like it more than Gooper Blooper breaks out. Because, like, you know, it's kind of a boss fight. It's like the precursor to a boss fight. But there's, like, some puzzle-solving elements. Like, you gotta be all up in the business of Gelato Beach. You gotta be climbing from trees, and you gotta be roaming around the Sandbird Tower. And, like, it's a much more thorough introduction to Gelato Beach than the Dune Bud Sandcastle secret. Do you know what I mean? Because, like, literally the Dune Bud Sandcastle secret can be over within, like, a minute. But this one is like, no, you're in Gelato Beach. you're going to be going between platforms. You're going to be, even like you could ride down the slide to like get over to it. So like, I feel like there's just a lot more here. There's just a lot more here, you know? I don't think it's as good as like a sandbox stage as like the Cage Shine Sprite is. But I think that it's essentially a boss fight. Oh boy. It's time for Wiggler. How do I feel about Wiggler? He's imposing. He's scary, maybe, to a child. The slowed down music glitch. That is cool. I like that the Wiggler utilizes the entire stage. Because in his third phase, he like runs on the hills and everything, and the music gets crazy, and it's definitely like very iconic. It's weird that the Wiggler is green though. It's also weird how giant it is. I think it's an A tier. I think it's an A tier, but I just don't know. I don't know if it's an S tier. Okay, so it uses these dune buds in probably the only interesting way. You know, because, like, the dune buds after this, they don't do anything. There's a single other thing that the dune buds do besides getting a blue coin. And we're going to talk about that one. Very shortly, we're going to talk about that one. But yeah, I like the sound design of it. I like that you kind of have to incorporate the main level gimmick of Gelato Beach into defeating him. I like that Mario gets thrown too. It's definitely an A tier. Is it better than the Mirror Madness Shine, though? I almost want to say I like Mirror Madness Tilt Slam Bam more. Because it's an A tier shine, but is it top of A, or is it like... Wiggler can be more tedious? I disagree. I think that the Mirror Madness shine can be more tedious. There's a little bit of waiting involved for Wiggler. I think I like Wiggler Ahoy less than Mirror Madness Tilt Slam Bam. I also love the name Mirror Madness Tilt Slam Bam. Like, that's supposed to tell you what to do in the level. Because the game doesn't tell you. Yeah, I like Mirror Madness Tilt Slam Bam more. It's definitely less straightforward. I'm gonna put this exactly next to it. I'm going to put it exactly over these two. Because I definitely do like the Wiggler fight more than the Gooper Blooper fight. Because there's like nothing that leads up to the Gooper Blooper fight. But this is like interacting with the entire environment. I think, yeah, having them together makes some sense. We did the Sandbird. The Sand Sprint. Is this the best Piantissimo level? Is the Sand Sprint the best Piantissimo level is the question. Yeah, the two bosses lead into the Sandbird, and I like the Sandbird a lot. I do like the Sandbird. More than other people do, probably. The Sand Sprint's kind of a nothing burger, but Piantissimo's also, like, it's not the Surf Swim. The Surf Swim Piantissimo is like a lame duck. In this one, he, like, could beat you. I'm trying to think if I like the course here. The Pinna Village one is just, like, running a straight line. The Surf Swim's the worst one. Is there a fourth Piantissimo? No, it's just 3 of them, right? It's just the Surf Swim. I did these graphics like yesterday, so it's just the Surf Swim, it's the Sand Sprint, and then it is the Crazy Climb is what that one's called. Running up the tree, though. It's true. No, I think there's only 3 of them. But running up that tree, though. Be running up that road. Be running up that hill. Channel my inner Stranger Things. It's not a D tier. I'm gonna put it over Shadow Mario. I mean, I guess it's like very short. And the timed shines automatically kind of get a boost. They kind of get a boost because you can actually like time yourself, and Piantissimo times you. So you could, if you wanted to, like grind them over and over again. It's probably more fun to do. It's more fun than Mecha Bowser. I'd rather do the Sand Sprint over Mecha Bowser. And over the 100 coins of Bianco Hills and Rico Harbor, certainly. Yeah. Yeah, that's a fine spot for it, I think. Bottom of B tier. Yeah, there's only 3 Piantissimo missions. I think that's respectable for Piantissimo. I think it is the best one. Because, like, Through the Village is, like, so nothing. It's just really not very much. Oh boy. We got an announcement about something Mario Sunshine related in a Mario Sunshine Discord. Oh, I'm so excited to talk about this one. I think this shine fucking sucks. I think the red coins in the Coral Reef, it might be the worst red coin mission, period. There's nothing that makes it interesting. It's like, yeah, go out into the water and just start like diving around. You'll find some coins. You'll get a shine. It feels like it simultaneously doesn't take long enough, but then it also takes too long. There's like so many things about it that I don't love. It's not interesting to do it in the water. There's nothing that makes the Coral Reef interesting. And the fact that one of the red coins is like attached to a school of fish and can be going through the Coral Reef and also through invisible walls and also through the sand. It's just awful. In fact, I'd rather do the Gelato 100 coins before that. It's not quite as bad as the roller coaster balloons, but like, this is a shine that I actively just am so about. I feel like there's so much more you could have done. It's like, you don't even know there's a reef out there until you get to this shine. And it's like, oh, the red coins in the Coral Reef. And you think it's going to be cool. Like, imagine, right? Imagine this shine in Mario Galaxy, right? There's no red coins in Mario Galaxy. But imagine it in Mario Galaxy. Imagine how much cooler the Coral Reef would be. And then think about what the Coral Reef actually is in Sunshine. And you're like, oh, there's actually nothing going on. It's actually just random generation and water. There's like there's one enemy who you're not even going to run into. And it's just diving for red coins. I think it's bad. I think it's a bad shine. It's Shadow Mario. After him. They could have done something with coral bleaching related to the goop pollution. Probably. They probably could have done a number of things to make the Coral Reef red coins more interesting. But as soon as I was like thinking about all the levels in Gelato, I was like, nah, that one's pretty bad. On the flip side, the Shadow Mario one's not so bad. It's definitely better than both On the Loose and Revisited. I don't think it makes it up into B tier, though. Is there even goop in Gelato? No. No, there's no goop in Gelato at all. Yeah. Which is, like, strange, but no big deal. Wait, is there goop in every other level, though? Yeah, there's goop in Noki Bay. There's goop in Serena Beach. There's no goop in Pinna Park. Right? Yeah, there's no goop in Pinna Park. So, yeah, it's Gelato Beach and Pinna Park. Those are the only two that don't have goop. This is also a nothing burger. No goop in Corona Mountain, if you count that. Nah, not really. It's better than Shadow Mario Revisited, because it's more fun to run around Gelato Beach than it is to run around the rafters of Rico Harbor. I'm just going to stick it above Shadow Mario Revisited and call it a day. We did the Watermelon Festival. The Sandcastle Secret red coins. I mean, it's a cop-out to put it right next to the Sandcastle Secret. I don't think that, like, it utilizes Flood in an interesting way. Kind of at all. You know, like, it's just such a simple secret that having red coins here and having to retread it is, like, I don't know. It doesn't do anything for me. Like, Flood doesn't even feel... I mean, he's not. He's not necessary. The red coin shines separate themselves, or the red coin secret levels separate themselves from the regular secret levels by virtue of having Flood to get to places that you previously would not be able to get to. I like when there's other sections of the secret level that you don't traverse the first time, that you do traverse the second time, now that you have Flood. I think that's what can separate the two of them. This one I don't think is separated at all. Also, what just happened there? Oh god. Tier Maker. Oh, Tier Maker. Tier Maker sucks, dude. It's like fine. I should be doing this in Photoshop, but Shadow Mario on the loose, bottom of C tier. Yeah, that's probably fair. And then we are on to the Gelato Beach Secret Shine. Yeah. It's a shine that exists. You could totally miss it. It's so dumb. The idea that this shine is just there. There's only... The only other shine that's dumber than this one. Well, there's maybe a couple. I guess I can give it some points on the virtue that it's not the 100 coins and it's not the red coins. Knowing where it is, it's like a very easy grab. But in the context of not knowing anything about the shines before going into them, I mean... And there's the shines on the beach that give you the blue coins, right? And that's even a more interesting and approachable idea for a secret shine. Like if you got all of the shines on the beach and you sprayed all of them, you know, then a shine sprite might spawn. And that's significantly more interesting than what they did with this one. I have nothing to talk about with the Gelato Beach Secret Shine 2. I have nothing to talk about here. It's just like, it's kind of whack. And it's a D tier shine. But it's not offensive like the Gelato Beach 100 coins or like the roller coaster balloons. Red coins in the Coral Reef isn't even like that bad. Like it's kind of a vibe just to be out there and searching for red coins. So actually I'm going to put that over this. It's not as bad. It's not as bad. All right, chat, where are we going? Where are we going next? The obvious answer is Pinna Park, but I'm open to discussion. We can go to Noki Bay. We can go to Serena Beach. We can go to Pinna Village. Let's go to Pinna Village. Sounds good. Chain Chomplets Unchained. This is an excellent Well, let's get the Pinna Village. Let's get the Pinna Village music cooking a little bit. There we go. Yeah, this is an excellent start for Pinna Village, I think. I think the shine is like, this is easily an A tier. Cause like it's fun to interact with these guys. If they group up, they're dangerous. Their goop is dangerous. They utilize the entire level, and being able to shoot them into this one singular pool of water. I also think it might be an S tier shine. Cause it's just like so iconic, dude. I love the chain chomplets. And it's like fun to do. Yeah. Damn, Pinna Village showing up. 2 shines already in S tier. I'm kind of good for that. Because it really is just like, I mean, maybe even, I could put the blooper speed run down a tier. Doesn't, I mean, these two are like, they go together. They go together, right? These two just, they are together. It's totally fine. I don't like it as much as the Goopy Inferno, because the Goopy Inferno is literally peak. But I mean, this shine does everything that you want it to. It utilizes flood. There's constantly respawning goop. These enemies trying to figure out how to defeat them. They're aggressive. There's a lot of things about the chain chomplets that I enjoy. So I think I'm good for that. Let's go the crazy climb, Piantissimo. Where did we put? We put Il Piantissimo's sand sprint in B tier. I do love running up that tree. I really do love running up that tree, dude. This is probably my favorite Piantissimo. Because this is the one where he puts up the biggest fight. You know, like, it's possible for you to lose this one if you're not familiar with it. I think I like it more than the sand sprint. Even though the sand sprint is maybe more mechanically interesting in, like, what you need to do. Like, this one is just, it is just water slide / dive, the movie. Encourages the player to be nice to their pets at the end, too. It's true. It's true. That is an S tier. Be nice to your pets. Be nice to your pets. Do I like chain chomplets unchanged more than blooper surfing safari? No. I don't think so. It is very, very good, though. Yeah, this is a pretty mid-tier. It's a mid-tier one. We did the Goopy Inferno at the very beginning of stream. That is an S tier. So let's move on to Chain Chomp's Bath. Oh, boy. It's very satisfying getting this Chomp in here. It's not as good as the Chomplets, though. Because he doesn't spawn goop, correct? He's just angry. I don't think, he doesn't spawn any goop like the Chain Chomps. The Chomplets do. And it's also like, at least for me as a child, it's confusing trying to get the Chain Chomp actually unchained. But yeah, it's probably a B tier. It's probably B tier. I'm trying to think if I mean, I guess I like the fact that the Chain Chomp exists in this game. That might sound stupid, but like Goombas aren't here, Koopas aren't here, Magic Koopas aren't here, Lakitus aren't here, Dry Bones aren't here. Like, so many Mario enemies are just not in Sunshine, but the Chain Chomp made it. Electro Koopas. Yeah, but come on now. That's like calling the Strolling Stews Goombas. Those are stews. They're different. I like that he exists. I like that he turns gold. I like that he perfectly fits into the hot tub. I guess this level has a little bit more substance than the crazy climb, and it's not as annoying as Strikes Back. I'm gonna put it like Rico Tower, red coins. I'm gonna put it like underneath Road to the Big Windmill. Isle Delfino isn't the Mushroom Kingdom. It's true. It's true. I think that, like, yeah, mid to upper B is good. There's not a lot going on, but it is like, I feel like you spend more time in this level than you do on the crazy climb. Because it's cool that it's like, oh, it's now daytime in Pinna Village. That's kind of like an interesting aesthetic choice for the crazy climb. But then you're back to it in episode 4 after the Goopy Inferno. Maybe it's not. I mean, I think I like it more than the Hillside Cave Secret. It's very simple. Playing through the game as much as I have, it's just like a very simple shine. But like, I think it's a good one. It's aesthetically pleasing. What is Kug? PNG of a Goomba or something out of bounds in Pinna Park. Oh, is that the name of the Goomba? I know where you're talking about, certainly. Oh, exciting. Oh, exciting. Okay, so the secret of the village underside. Lesser sun... Oh, excuse me. I'm going to restart that because I fumbled on my words. Lesser Sunshine players would put this in D tier because of the chucksters. However, as a man of culture, there are pieces of this level that I do, in fact, appreciate. However, as a man of culture, I cannot give it S tier. But I am going to give it somewhere in A tier. Because of a number of reasons. Okay? Number one, this is the first time you're going, assuming you did the Goopy Inferno in some back-asswards way. This is the first time you're going underneath the village, which those mushrooms are cool. You got to get Yoshi for it, which is like a whole separate kind of side excursion before you even actually get to the level. You have the Yoshi-less clip where you can clip through that part of the generation to like make it into the loading zone. And the level itself it's the idea it poses is so stupid. It probably deserves to be at the very bottom of A. Right here is probably right. The idea it poses is so stupid. But like I can't help but just appreciate that choice. I like that it's stupid. And like once you know how the chucksters work, it's not that bad. The idea that it's like this in the first place, though, is very, very silly. I think it deserves to be an A. It's so iconic. It's so iconic. And the I'm a Chuckster, like, come on, man. I might even like it more than... I mean, shit, I like it more than Petey Piranha. Do I like it more than the Watermelon Festival? No, I'm going to leave it at the bottom of A. I'm going to leave it at the bottom of A. That feels good because it's annoying to get to, and especially if you don't understand the mechanic, like, you're going to have a bad time here. But, like, knowing everything about the level, there's a lot that goes into it. Pianta's in need. You guys watch that Average Tray video? Because this is a banger of a level. Mario's actively doing what he's assigned to do. He's doing community service. What are they? They are just Piantas who decide that they want to throw things / other people. I guess they're kind of like martial artists with discipline. I'm not super thrilled with Piantas in Need, personally. I think it's kind of like... I think it's a nothing burger, but it has some cool speedrun things going on. It has the in-game timer, which people are able to flock to. Yeah, I don't know. I can give it its flowers, certainly. It could be an A-tier shine, but I think it's very, like... As soon as you spawn in and talk to the mayor, being put on a timer, it's like, okay, are they gonna die? No. But am I gonna die? Yeah. What do we think, chat? Because, like, I think I respect the Secret of the Village Underside more. It's just so simple. It's just so simple. It feels like, because, like, the idea of Piantas or Nokis getting gooped and sinking into the goop and then having to clean them off is, like, cool. But it's cool when it happens, like, passively. Having a whole level dedicated around it is, like, I don't know. How do I even put it? It feels like a gameplay mechanic that they turned into a level, and not like a level that, like, if there was a boss, let's say there was a boss, because there's no boss in Pinna Village. Yeah, there's no boss in Pinna. I mean, I guess, is the Chain Chomp the boss? This guy does not feel like a boss. I can't give him boss vibes. I don't know. I understand this level, but I personally am not, like, huge on it. I will give it that it's better than... I'll give it the top of B tier, though. I think that's all I'm willing to do, though. Because I do like it more than the Chain Chomp's Bath, I think. The Goopy Inferno is a massive hive mind of fiery goop. Is it a hive mind? We talk about the upside down? What's the deal? Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair spot for it. Pinna Village is kind of all over the place. No, I know you made that up. That's okay. Shadow Mario runs wild. Okay, this is actually... I think this is the best Shadow Mario chase. This is the best one. And in fact, I'm even willing to put it, like, here, I think. Because of a couple reasons. Because he utilizes the entire village. He's got a decent amount of HP. There's enemies that spawn. But then also, he has a trail of fiery goop that he leaves as he runs. And I think he should be doing that in every other level. But he doesn't do that in every other level. I think that this is, like, easily the most interesting Shadow Mario chase. Because the other ones aren't so good. But the Goop Trail makes this one better. And there's also, like, there's the windy enemies, or whatever they're called, you know? So I think that's a good B tier one. Hotel Shadow Mario chase, if he had electric goop, it would be awesome. It would be really cool. That'd be really, really cool. I don't think it quite scratches A tier. You know, because we got, like, the best of the best in A tier. Well, obviously the best of the best are in S tier, but everything in A tier is, like, a great level. This one can still be, like, a blink and you miss it kind of level. But I think it's easily the best Shadow Mario chase. The Fluff Festival Coin Hunt. Oh, boy. You're going to spend a lot of time in Pinna Village. If you haven't done this level before and you don't know where the red coins are, you're spending a lot of time in Pinna Village. And it does not help that you have to do it again for the 100 coins. Like, you're just, like, you're traveling all over the map. And, like, I like it. You don't really use the fluffs until the end, though. And even then, like, that's sort of confusing how it it moves you over to the cloud with the shine sprite on it. Because you could make it over there before having collected all 8 red coins, and then you're just over there. And you're like, how do I get back? What do I do? It's like... And then you have to climb to, like, the very top of the tree and, like, all the way below it. I don't know. You know what? I think that it would have been better as, like, a red coins of the village underside or something. Like, I like that there's a festival, but this is definitely a red coin mission that drags, dude. Yeah, the tree in Pinna Village is definitely... I also don't like climbing it at all. Even with the rocket nozzle, like... I don't think it's that rewarding. It's cool when you're up there, but... Sorry, I have... Speaking of the Fluff Festival, I have like a bunch of fuzz just like flying around my room. I don't know where the hell... I don't know what the hell. This is one I actively kind of dread doing. So I'm going to put it in C tier, I think. I like the aesthetic of the fluffs. I like that the clouds exist. I like that you have to explore the entire level. But I think it falls in the same line as like the red coin or the 100 coin missions where you spend a little bit too much time. Although I will stick it above the 100 coins for these two. But that's all I'm willing to give it. I don't love the Fluff Festival coin hunt. Definitely a tedious red coin mission. On the flip side, you got the Village Underside's red coins. Not the hypothetical level, but the Chuckster secret red coins. I think this one's actually pretty good. Because you only need to use like 2 Chucksters, I want to say. Which makes the generation of the Chuckster level significantly more forgiving. It's not... The gimmick falls apart, for sure, because you have Flood now. But it's also interesting to be in here and have Flood, because it doesn't feel nearly as bad. You feel so much more free. There's the tightrope, there's the guy who's on fire. It's just like... It's a good red coin mission. It gives me good feelings about it. You know? Is it better than the Dirty Lake red coins? Yeah. But I'd rather do the red coin. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good spot. I feel like I'm being a little too harsh on Mecha Bowser here at the bottom of B. But maybe not. That's okay. I'll move on. Let's talk about the 100 coins of Pinna Village first. This one is like substantially more doable, and it's also more fun than the Fluff Festival 100 coins. Especially considering that like down on these mushrooms are like a ton of coins. And I just feel like collecting all the coins is more rewarding than it is collecting the red coins. So I'm thinking this is a B tier somewhere. It's still like definitely tedious, but you get Yoshi to eat the bees and you're already looking at like 40 coins there. It's very easy, and it's certainly like it's digestible compared to a lot of the other 100 coin missions, I think. Not as digestible as one of them, but I think I'm willing to give it... I don't think it's A tier. Because, like, it's not... None of the 100 coin missions are, like, fun. Well, one of them is fun. One of them is fun. It's a B tier somewhere. I will put it over... No, I'm going to put it at the bottom. I'm going to put it at the bottom of B tier here. I have not ranked all the Sunshine music, no. Get on up there, Pinna Village Secret Shine. Get on up there. This might be the worst shine sprite in the entire game. I think it might be worse than the roller coaster balloons, too. Because not only do you have to climb the tree, you have to do it during the daytime. And you have to think to Y-cam and spray the sun. Now, I'm pretty sure, right? There's some NPC in the game that tells you to spray the moon. I think. There's some tiny hint about either this one or the moon blue coin on top of the gold mushroom, right? There's something in there like that. However, the Gelato Beach Secret Shine is different because it's pretty easy to get. But the thing is that you have to be on top of this tree, specifically on this platform. If you just try to spray at the sun from anywhere, it doesn't work. You have to specifically be on top of the tree. I think it's literally maybe the worst shine in the game. It's super cryptic. It's not interesting. I think that there's like a bunch of other stuff that maybe could have been done for a secret shine. It's like, yeah, it's almost insulting because I definitely remember talking to that NPC and him being like, oh, something about spraying the sun or spraying the moon, and then doing that, but not knowing I needed to be like on top of the tree to do it and just like writing it off. This is definitely one of the last ones that I ever found as a kid. And I hate it so much more than anything else in D tier. Just so much more. It's the worst shine of the game so far. Where are we going? Where are we going? NPC in Fluff Festival mentioned something about the secret shine. You know, exactly, and maybe, and that's fine. But it's so cryptic. It's like, how could you expect to do it from the top of the tree? We have Noki Bay, Serena Beach, and the rest of Pinna Park to do. And then all of the Delfino Plaza / Airstrip / Corona Mountain. Where are we going, chat? Where are we going, chat?